Back to the live coverage of the Simply Race British Championships live on YouTube and Twitch. I'm joined by Mark Winwood, I'm Ben Turner, and we are about to see the final Clio Cup race of the day. We've got 3 races remaining of our 7 epic races on the Donington Park circuit. So Clio Cup's up next. We've just seen, well, we saw a couple of hours ago, a really fantastic battle between the drivers in that category, and this is we've got 2 qualifying sessions for this one, so slightly different qualifying order to the first one, but actually 2 similar names at the top, and the top 2 in the last race as well. So Holland and Curry will start in first and second place. Ben Brown, though, for Ben Brown fans, starting in 3rd place, a great qualifying position for him to start from, and then you've got Ian Redmond and Chris Sainsbury in positions, qualifying positions that they were nowhere near in the first session, so that's really great for them. And then David Robertson, who finished in 3rd, will be starting in 6th. Nathan Burton in 7th place. We've got Harry Wheaton starting in 8th, Bonnie in 9th, Clumpers in 10th, Eccles in 11th, James Whedon in 12th, and then we've got Dean Prescott starting in 13th place. Excited? Yeah,
it's going to be an exciting race. I think it's quite an interesting lineup. We've got fast guys like Robertson and Sainsbury in the middle of the pack here, so it should be really interesting to see how they come through, how they deal with it, and fan favourite Ben Brown, well up there in 3rd.
Absolutely, and we can see the drivers now making their way around Coppice and towards the S's, the final couple of corners. It seems like a slightly faster pace. And John Curry was talking, James Holland was talking last time about having quite a slow pace lap deliberately, and this pace up seems a lot faster from him. So interested to see what his thought process is behind that. If he did win last time round, so
maybe he's thinking about tyre warm up. I don't know. To be honest, it's pretty difficult to get temperature into these tyres unless you're doing racing speed.
Yes, absolutely. We know that tyre wear is critical for these Clio Cups, and we're seeing all of the 13 drivers taking their place on the starting lineup now, and then Prescott will be the last one. He's going to make everyone wait as he parks his 130 machine with the pink wheels on 13th slot. We're going to wait for the green flag in front of us, and the green flag is raised, and away we go. So waving flag, and a good start then from 2nd place Curry. So Curry's going to move to the outside, and we're 3 abreast in the mid-pack as always at the Clios. Down the inside goes the pink car of very clean, sorry, but oh no, I said clean at the wrong time.
One of the Whedons,
and that was Bonnie who was involved, and one of the Whedons, and someone else as well. We will get you a replay of that, but a great start. Who's that off in the background?
Burton, I think. Nathan Burton.
So Barracuda's Nathan Burton spins off on cold tyres. Well, I thought we got away with first corner then, and it hadn't happened. But a clean start from Holland and Curry in their sister cars, and then we've got Ben Brown in 3rd, followed by Redmond in 4th, Robertson up to 5th. 6th place Clumpers after starting in 10th, and then you've already got Prescott in 7th. Sainsbury has dropped down to 8th, but he's still in the pack though. James Whedon in 9th, Eccles in 10th, Harry Wheaton in 11th, and Burton in 12th, Bonnie in 13th, and these guys were all involved in accidents on that opening lap. Focusing now on the Martini livery of Ian Redmond, and he is about to be put under pressure by the fast-moving David Robertson, 3rd place in the first round. Ben Brown had some good pace in race 1, and seems like he's able to keep up with the front-running guys and keeping in 3rd place at the moment.
Yeah, so classic accident on the first lap down this section of the track, Cranard Curves, particularly on the first lap when it's the first left-hander. We've seen a lot of accidents today down there on all races because it's so easy to lose the back of the car there, and that's what happened to Nathan Burton, I think.
Absolutely, and it's a shame for Nathan Burton. He'll be pushing his foot right down to do all he can to catch up with the rest of the drivers. There's lots of action happening in that second group as well. Ben Brown is a little bit wide and perhaps loses a couple of tenths of a second then to the two pursuing drivers. So this is the group of 5 that are battling for the race lead, and we've got another group of 5 battling for 6th down to 10th.
So we're all set up for quite an exciting race here if this stays together, because I think you've got fast guys like Robertson and Ian Redmond, who's going well, closing up to the back of Ben Brown, and a little bit of a gap back to Prescott at the head of the next group. So maybe Prescott can come and join this front 5.
So here's a replay then. Bonnie goes down the inside. There's a little bit of contact there. Where's the main contact? Right, okay, so the contact happens on the exit of the corner, and the force of the 2 drivers hitting him pushes him up into the air, and I know we don't see the rotations correctly of the car, but actually
Spectacular crash.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and we've seen that in real life at Donington as well.
Someone locking up in the background there. I think that was a replay of Nathan Burton.
So Nathan Burton comes down the hill. He's behind Ian Redmond with.
So he's got
Robertson
offline.
On the inside. Just so unfortunate. Yeah, he gets off the line, like you say. At least he has the presence of mind to turn away and get his car off the track and not collect any other drivers. So
yeah, did well there.
Yeah, did very, very well. So thank you, Nathan Burton. There is Nathan Burton, and I think he was just going past Harry Whedon. I think. No, maybe not. Maybe that was him rejoining in the replay. So we've got Holland, Curry, Brown, Redmond.
Robertson right onto the back of Redmond now.
Yeah, so Redmond is under pressure from Robertson. I already mentioned he came 3rd in the previous race. Into Redgate then. And Robertson will be keen to get past so we can start moving forward in the remaining 20 laps of this race.
So they're setting a really fast pace at the front. Holland and Curry again pulling away a little bit from Brown, but he's holding his own, and then this little gap back to Redmond with Robertson right behind him, and then Prescott a couple of seconds back.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see that Holland gap still seems to be increasing. James Holland really going for it early on, and we do know that the tyre wear is quite critical. So it is important to look after your tyres. So maybe we might find later on that someone like Holland has gone a little bit too hard and his tyre wear is now a little bit critical.
So Robertson's trying, he's close enough now where he's probably starting to think about where he may be able to make a move on Ian Redmond. Redmond's a little bit wide coming out of the chicane, and this could be Robertson's chance. He's got a good drive, he's almost alongside. He's on the outside though, Redmond defending. Robertson taking a really wide entry. Now he might try and cut back, see if he can get the undercut. I think Redmond's done quite well there. He's kept good momentum through the corner. And here Prescott is almost onto the back of Robertson now, so this is going to be a 3-way fight pretty soon.
So Robertson desperate to make the move before Prescott gets here right in his mirrors, and that pink wheeled car is charging, and here is Bonnie, I believe. So Bonnie gets just a touch on the grass, and boom, there he goes straight into the barrier.
Yeah, horrible when you get on the grass there coming out of the old hairpin and it spits you across the other side of the track, and then you're on the grass at sort of 80-90 miles an hour and you're heading straight to the barrier. Not
a pleasant thing to be happening, that's for sure. And here is the 130 Racing train, and Robertson's now having to look behind, so I think he's sort of dropped a few tenths to Ian Redmond in front of him.
Redmond on the grass again, coming out of the chicane, seems to do that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's got to be careful of the track limits, and Prescott is now right in the train tracks of Robertson coming into Redgate. Robertson takes quite a tight line, and Prescott does seem ever closer.
But of course, being his teammate, he's going to want to make it a really clean move if he does go for an overtake.
Yeah, we don't want any inter-team battles going on that are unfair. We've all got to race together on the same team when it comes to the endurance series. And up the hill they go to the right-hander. Prescott takes a wide line. He's going to try and cut back, and he does He doesn't really gain anything there, but Redmond does seem to have come a little bit back into Robertson's hands, and all three of these guys are lapping it very, very close together. You can identify the two drivers by their different coloured wheels. If you haven't noticed already, you've got Prescott with the pink wheels and Robertson with the blue wheels. Nice little touch to their paint schemes there, and lots of curb for Redmond, and Redmond does seem a little bit slower. Maybe not, maybe it's just Robertson's a little bit slower, and now we've got Prescott going to the outside. He's probably not going to be able to go around there unless he has a sudden cut back to the right. And down the inside goes Robertson. He gets onto the brakes very, very hard though, and he might be a bit slow coming out of Redgate. And is he going to cut off Dean Prescott? He does,
yes,
as they head down towards the old hairpin. And Prescott desperate to make a move. He started in 13th place, is now up to 6th. And makes another little look to the left-hand side.
Oh, Robertson going for the inside. He's not close enough.
Yeah, not this time, and perhaps
he's almost doing that in a way, defending at the same time attacking.
Yeah,
because he's in that awkward position.
We're almost not sure whether he's attacking or defending when we're looking at his track positioning. And all the time, Ben Brown able to scamper off down the road in 3rd place, and Robertson looks to the outside. It might leave him vulnerable to Prescott on the exit of this corner though, because they're going to be a bit slower coming out, and Prescott will be foot to the floor coming out just a couple of mile an hour faster. I don't think he's going to be able to make a move up the inside of this on this particular occasion. That's a little bit
Redmond
of fortune.
Really slow into Redgate, and he's almost backing Robertson into Prescott here, so this is quite stressful for Robertson to be in this position where he's clearly got a bit more speed than the car in front, but he's got to get a clean move done, and all the time he's looking in his mirrors watching where Prescott is.
Yeah, it's very easy to drive with your eyes and your mirrors instead of the road in front of you. You always have to be superhuman to multitask with everything that's going on.
Prescott's dropped back a little bit here the last couple of corners, so maybe he's just made a slight mistake, or maybe he's just gathering his thoughts, trying to plan where he might be able to make a pass.
Yep, and this mesmerising battle is dragging our eyes off battles elsewhere. I'm sure there are lots of other bits and pieces going, but here goes Robertson again. He looks to the inside, then cuts back to the outside. Is he going to have enough space? I don't think so. He's going to get slowed down. Avoid the curbs, cut back to the left, and we've got Prescott, who's got a mega run to the outside.
This could be it. Prescott could be through here. I think it depends how harsh Robertson's going to be to try and defend. I don't think he'll have the chance.
He's still got his...
oh, wow. Prescott's at the inside of Redmond.
Oh,
contact!
Oh, no!
Redmond's over.
Oh, wow. Oh, dear. So, bit of contact there, and as Clios do, they go upside down.
We've seen Redmond. He is quite slow into Redgate. We've seen this several laps where he seems to brake quite early, and I think that is what lured Prescott into thinking I can get through. And he was quite well alongside, but we'd have to have a look at
the replay. I'd have to see that from a different angle, at a different time, a different speed, I think.
Anyway, let's release the 130 racing cars.
Realistically, it depends on how close he was when the cars started braking, and according to the rules, so we'll have to see what happens there. Very unfortunate collision though for Redmond. He's dropped now all the way back down to 10th position. Here is the replay then. Is on board with Prescott's car. Prescott looks to the inside, brakes a lot earlier actually, and I think you're right. It's
got a long way alongside.
I think it almost surprised him how early Redmond was braking, so he had to make a move, and then at the same time Redmond had assumed that there was no car on the inside, and there was a bit of a collision. Interesting to see how the stewards play that one. I can see that decision going one of several ways, so we'll have to try and see how that one works out. So at the moment Holland leads by 2.6 seconds from Curry. Brown in 3rd place. Robertson in our screens then in 4th place, and then Prescott now back behind him again in 5th. Then we've got Clumpers in 6th place, pursued by Harry Whedon and James Whedon, who are line astern on the track. And then just behind Whedon is Britan. So Nathan Burton recovering from his accident earlier on. And then we've got Redmond, who we just saw slightly upside down. Then Sainsbury and Eccles. So a lot of the closer battles are towards the rear of the grid at this point in the race, although this is the inter-team 130 racing rivalry.
Chris Sainsbury struggling again. I expect him to be a bit further up front, but don't know what's happened to him in this race because he was 5th on the grid. So
yeah, he didn't have the best start. I think he moved down to 8th. I don't know how he's moved down to 11th now, but he was down in 8th after the first lap, I think, from memory.
So it's worked out quite well for Robertson, really, because he was sort of going to lose a place to Prescott. He's ended up gaining 2 places, and he wasn't involved in the Redmond incident, so it's worked out quite well for Robertson, that has.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously Prescott at risk of receiving a penalty there, and that's gonna, if that happens, then that would give him even more leeway or headroom. So we are on the lap 11 of 23, and Holland still lapping very, very quickly at the front.
So this is Nathan Burton up behind James Whedon, having a look all over the back of him, and looking to try and make a move out onto the long straight, heading down towards the chicane. Lost a little bit of ground actually in that attempted overtake that didn't come off. So through the chicane, try and get a good exit from here.
A couple of green laps being set by Robertson and Prescott, so personal bests.
So now they've been released from behind Redmond, they're flying.
Yeah, absolutely, and up the inside goes the Clio, Barracuda Clio, and a similar amount of contact to...
nice clean move by Nathan Burton for me there. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Nice clean move. There's a fair amount of contact there.
Yeah,
Mark.
but he was clearly along. He was through actually when the contact happened. Would you not say?
Yeah, it was clean though.
I think Whedon just turned into him. I was like, there's no point turning in. He's already there.
Clean is clearly semantics.
You can't turn in when there's a car there.
And here is the 130 racing team battle. Prescott's going to have to get past Robertson for a second time today. They head down onto Dunlop Straight and into the S's. Where was he strong last time? It was on the exit of the S's, wasn't it, that Prescott was able to make his move actually before the start of Redgate. Here's a replay then of that clean move.
Burton is actually ahead when they turn into the corner. He's in front of Whedon. Yeah, so what Whedon thinks he's doing, I don't know.
Lots of tyre smoke.
Yeah, but look, he pretty much makes the apex.
Well, he makes the apex with the help of the car on the inside.
I think that's fair.
No, okay. That's why you're racing and I'm not. And we've got side by side 130 racing Clios, and down the hill into the old hairpin, and Dave Robertson still keeping his teammate at bay. There's no team orders here. The whoever comes first, and no one's going to let anyone past. This is not Red Bull.
Yeah, so they've got a bit of a gap to Ben Brown in front of them. It's about 4 seconds, but they'll be pushing each other on to see if they can close that gap, get into the podium places.
Yeah, so Ben Brown still doing a sterling job in 3rd place. Ben Brown fans rejoice.
They've gone quiet though, haven't they, today?
They have. They turned back in for the USF earlier. I missed all of that though. My personal pit stop. They were back out.
Oh, good.
So we haven't lost them. So coming in to Redgate for the 14th time then. We are probably 2/3 of the way through this race. And well, where will Prescott find a way through again? He's made it through once on the exit of the S's and on the run down to Redgate. That was a little bit of help, aided I should say, by another car being present, that car of Ian Redman.
So this is a tricky position. I think Prescott obviously wants to get past, but he needs to make it clean because he's thinking, I don't want to knock my teammate off. So he's probably being a bit more circumspect than he would be otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely. And
but the main thing for these two drivers is to try and catch Ben Brown in front of them. So they don't want to upset each other's rhythm too much and slow each other down.
Yeah, and there's, what, 3.2 seconds between them. 2.4 seconds between our race leaders, and they are lapping very similarly at the moment. So Holland last time around 15.7, 15.4, 4.9 for Curry. Brown 15.7, similar, it's the same as the race leader. And then we got these guys here, 115.3, 115.5. So
James Holland here, leading the race. He's got a couple of seconds over his teammate John Curry. Another great performance so far by these two. And here we are.
Sorry, I know. Well, let's watch these guys go side by side up the hill then. Before I come back to the jump at Compass and goes the outside then, does Prescott. Can he go all the way around the outside of McLean's? He's going to do it, is he? He's gone round the outside of McLean's.
Brilliant
and
move.
What an amazing move from Prescott. And he moves up into 4th place.
I think Robertson didn't want to, was cautious about, didn't want to defend too hard, or he didn't want to understeer wide into the side of Prescott there, and he was quite polite about it.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And yeah, really great job from both these drivers to keep it clean and consistent. And now they can concentrate on hunting down 3rd place Ben Brown. And here is Ian Redman. Ian Redman recovering. He's currently in 10th place and looking to make a move on James Whedon. Lots of curb there from Redman. Ambitious amount of curb. We can talk to Anthony Jordan about curb.
Yeah.
Not taking too much is the best policy.
He knows how dangerous they can be.
Yes, he was upside down on the other side of the barrier after the last touring car race. And there are 7 laps remaining, I believe.
So just 7 laps for James Holland and Ben Curry to hang on for another 1-2.
Yeah, it's been a real dominant performance from Holland and Curry today.
Absolutely, yeah. And Ben Brown, this will be his best result if he can hang on to this.
Absolutely, and let's just have a look at Redmond. Oh, I thought he had a bit of an overlap there. He's really pushing to get past Whedon at this point. He's got a good run here. Can he make a run up the inside of Coppice? He's getting pushed a little bit to the inside, and I think he's got it done. There's going to be some contact there, and Whedon's got to give him enough space. He does just about, and the two drivers run side by side down the Dunlop Straight, and in the background Sainsbury as well might get involved in this. Oh, an interesting.
Can't go side by side in the chicane usually. That's they got away with it.
And Sainsbury then now making the most of it. And Sainsbury's going to go up the inside of Redmond, and Sainsbury's going to take 10th place, and maybe he takes both of them into Redgate. No, not quite, but certainly a place up for Sainsbury. Although on the rebound goes Redmond up the inside through the crane of curves and down towards the old hairpin. Redmond is now back ahead and pushing hard.
Yeah, I mean, great racing from all three of them there. I mean, that could have ended in a crash for anybody, but everybody managed to get through together. And yeah, Sainsbury briefly was past, but now he's got to try again.
And what a great battle between these three drivers. This is for 10th place.
Whedon's wide.
Yeah, so Whedon goes wide there, and that means Redmond might have the inside then for the S's. They go down the Dunlop Straight.
Absolutely side by side down the straight here. So I think Redmond's got the inside. He should get this done. Is Whedon going to try and hang around the outside?
Oh, they really squeeze each other on the entrance to the S's, and Sainsbury then almost managed to get past there as well. Jump back to Sainsbury would be fantastic. And There we are, and he's also pushing to get past Whedon. Whedon's got lots of tyres, mate, which normally means he's running out of tyre wear at this point in the race. We're on lap 18 of 23, so 4.5 laps remaining. And down the inside goes Sainsbury, and almost.
He did that in the first race. He did a really good move down to the old hairpin in the first race.
Yeah, mega move. One of the best moves I've ever seen on the entrance to the old hairpin. So is Prescott's gaining on Brown? And I know we've got this battle coming on. There is Brown, there's Prescott, there's Robertson. So Brown currently in 3rd position, but under huge amounts of pressure from these 1-2-30 races. Oh, there's a big crash with all 3 of those drivers. As soon as we cut away, oh no, what happened there? We're going to have to get you a replay. All 3 of them are back up and running again, but
so Prescott's gone across the gap.
One of them's had a spin, right? So, Redmond goes wide, drops it, spins. Oh no! So unfortunate. Wow. Well, bit of rallying from Chris Sainsbury.
He did really well to keep that going.
He did really well to keep it going and not dropping it. So really fantastic job there. And unfortunate for Ian Redmond, he's had an up and down day. Certainly got the pace and just needs a little bit more probably bum in seat time, and he'll be one to reckon with in this Clio Cup Championship.
Ben Brown's going to be under serious attack here from Dean Prescott, I think.
Yeah, Prescott with 4 laps to go, got the pit between his teeth. And we already know how strong he is through this last section of the race circuit. And side by side,
still going on.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's even after that last collision, and there goes Whedon. Going a little bit wide. I think that's going to probably say the end to that race. And to the outside goes Prescott. And the danger here is that Prescott gets back into the position that he was in when the Robertson was in when he was behind him.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's role reversal. It could be if Robertson catches up to the back of them.
Yeah. So out the old hairpin they go.
Prescott's got run.
Moves the inside of the left-hander, but he'll be on the outside for McLean's, and it's going to be a long way around McLean's. He's done it once today. Can he do it a second time? He's still there. He hasn't made the move stick just yet. Okay, so he tucks back in for Coppice and goes for a good run down the Dunlop straight.
All about this exit now. Just got to get right on the back of Ben Brown.
Yeah, and it's all about staying in there. So as much as you can.
Switches
maybe move around a little bit. Absolutely fine. Scare the guy off the apex if you can. No contact yet between these 2 drivers. Really close, fair racing. There's just about enough space left by both parties on the outside of McLean. So good racing so far. Ben Brown has to go super defensive into turn 1, and this does that give Prescott the opportunity to cut back, and he does cut back. He's got the inside then for the right hander, but he'll have the outside for the left, but the inside for the next right. So he looks like Prescott's going to make his way through, and he does. So Prescott moves up into 3rd place. What a great move.
Excellent move by Prescott. That's tricky to do that, hang it around the outside of the grain of curves. It could easily go wrong, but he just controlled that beautifully and took the place. And now look, Robertson right into the back of Ben Brown now. As a result of that.
Double teamed by the 130 racing team, and pushing hard to get those championship points are both of these 130 racing drivers. We haven't mentioned Holland and Curry for a while, but they are still in the lead. They are about 10 seconds ahead of this trio. And down goes the inside of Ben Brown goes Robertson. He has to try and slow it down. Does he overcook it? He does a little bit. He goes wide on the exit. Don't drop it now. And he does stay ahead, but is he a little bit slower? Is he going to leave the door open? No, I think that's job done.
Yeah, good. Yeah, he scrabbled his way through, but he's got it done. So yeah, great driving by both the 130 racing drivers in this race.
Absolutely, and we are on the penultimate lap then. These guys are starting the second to last lap, and I think that was the closest battle on track at the moment, by the looks of things. Still a couple of positions to be resolved, but by the looks of things, I would say that Prescott, Robertson, Brown looking pretty safe unless something happens. Although Brown's maybe a little bit closer than I thought he would be at this point.
He's not giving up, Ben Brown fans.
He's not he never gives up. He's Ben Brown, and lots of inside curb from Robertson. And actually, that maybe slowed him down slightly, but also possibly giving him a penalty. And that's one thing that he does need to watch out for.
Such a tricky corner, that coppice, because you're braking and turning in when you can't really see where the apex is. So
yes,
so easy to make a mistake.
Yeah, you can't see the exit. That's the difficult thing. So as they start their final lap, James Holland has been absolutely dominant, hasn't he? All day.
Super clean, yeah. Both races had the pace, no mistakes. Yeah, very much at the moment the man to beat in this championship.
Gap then up to 4 seconds for Holland over Curry. You can see the two teammates kind of line astern. You've got Eccles back marker in between the two of them, but they won't mind that. They're not too worried. They've got plenty of gap between them and the 130 racing cars of Prescott and Robertson. And
Robertson looks to have pulled a few car lengths on Ben Brown now, so running out of time for Ben Brown to get back past. Robertson's
no,
made
Robertson!
a mistake.
Is he safe?
He's held it.
He's held it, and that was
He's
distracted Ben Brown enough to get around the outside. But he might still end up coming out in front. He hits a thing, and wow, Robertson knows how to put himself under pressure on the final lap, and
he just scared Ben Brown off the road there, I think, because he was so out of control.
And checkered flag then for Holland, and Holland takes the victory. Second place goes to Curry. There is Jason Eccles finishing in 12th place. Then we've got the fight to the flag, and Prescott will come home third. Robertson in fourth, just about after that epic sideways moment. Ben Brown in fifth place, a well earned and well deserved fifth for him. Then a bit of a gap to Clumpers in sixth, a good result for him. Harry Whelan in seventh, Burton in eighth place. Redmond will be ninth after a couple of exciting incidents for him.
Knocked about a bit.
He did get battered and bruised somewhat, and then you'll have James Whelan, Sainsbury in 11th, Eccles, we already said, is 12th, and Bonney finishes a lap down in 13th. So do stick with us for a few minutes. We're just going to grab some of the drivers. There's confirmation of the results the provisional results as we understand them. We're just going to try and grab the top three drivers and give them a quick interview. Bear with us for just a few moments. thanks for being with us. I'm joined by Dean Prescott, who you're just checking out your hair there.
Yeah, well, I've got to look good on the stream, haven't I?
Hair is always important on the live stream. Dean, of course, just finished third in the Clio Cup. He's also man behind the scenes on most of the production mixing when Darren isn't. And when Darren doesn't want to do it.
Which is pretty much all the time anyway, but you know.
We've got him to thank for some but not all of the live stream today as well. Good race.
You
flipped a car.
Apparently.
You did. Well, it's not an argument. You definitely 100%.
Well, I didn't have much choice in the matter, to be honest.
Yeah.
It broke so early for turn one, I just had to dive up the inside. Yeah. Made it look like a dive, but I was just going for my normal braking point. So.
Yeah, I think we did mention on the stream it did seem like it was quite an early break from Redmond, and it looked like one of those ones where you actually have to just turn the wheel and brake and hope you.
To be honest, it's similar to what happened in the first race. I just got caught by someone who broke so early. I just had to go up the inside because the natural line is actually drift out because it's such a late apex. So that's what I basically had to do. Yeah,
but good battling with Dave Robertson as well, your teammate.
Well,
you had to make sure you get it cleanly.
Well, I wasn't racing Dave.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm only covering for Callum, so as of next race, I'm not here.
Yeah.
Well, I am here, but I'm not racing, so.
Yeah, sure.
If David had been close enough to me towards the end, I'd have probably just backed off because he needs the points more than I do.
Yeah.
But
he didn't.
But no, I saw it coming. I saw him come steaming in towards the final chicane. I was like, uh-oh, I better start going.
He had a really big moment at McLean's.
Yeah.
Sideways, and actually, both of them went off the track. It was very, very dramatic for the final lap of the race. But yeah, really good performance.
Yeah.
Enjoying your time in the Clio Cup. Was your last race in the Clios for possibly
well, it was my most clean race.
Yeah.
Two at Brands, taken out.
Most clean
pretty
race.
Much. In fact, that's probably the most clean race I've seen in the Clios. There was the crash at the start, which is why I hung back because I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then
I thought we'd almost got away with that start, and then
so did I.
One very small mistake.
And then did I see Britan as well facing backwards coming towards the old chicane? To the old Erpin, sorry.
Got wide.
Yes, Darren, I said Erpin.
So
yeah, I'll hand off to the
let's talk
very quick guys.
Let's talk to the team, shall we? Let's have both of them at the same time.
Oh well, I think they're too busy talking to each other.
Come and talk to us. We'll talk to both of you at the same time because you're basically the same person. You're inseparable today, although you can share. Come. Maybe we shouldn't do it. We've run out of chairs. Grab a chair. Can we fit you in shot? John and James, amazing team effort. I think the guys who are covering for will be quite happy with your performance. It went exactly to plan. It was perfect, and actually you guys kept your nose clean again. You didn't get the best start though, James. Oh.
Yeah, John did quite a good practice start for the formation lap.
Right.
I was trying to, but it made a mistake. I was still in neutral, so I was still a bit rusty on my race starts. And then when the lights went, it was, just not great. John got alongside me.
Yeah.
He nosed in front, but I had the inside, and we just played it safe. And he just let me take the inside and follow through. It was pretty clean, and just kept us away. If I was in a different coloured car, he'd have just gone for it and sent it, and chopped my nose. But it was it was much more relaxed, this race from my point of view, just because it was John behind me, and the aim was to come 1 and 2. Whereas in the other race, it's
someone else.
Someone else makes it a bit more tricky. If John got a run on me, I'd have let him through. If or he just sat behind me or whatever. It was mainly just to get 1 and 2. So it was pretty good. Pretty chuffed with that.
Yeah, really good. And you worked on your starts then, so your start was better.
Indeed, a lot better.
Were you using the clutch or not?
I was using the clutch. Okay. I decided I thought for the formation lap, I thought, well, there's nothing to stop me doing a practice start. No. And on the formation lap, it really worked very well.
Yeah.
And I was a bit worried on the actual grid because it felt like it was creeping a bit.
Yeah.
So I had to sort of very hurriedly put in first and engage clutch as the lights were coming on. And then I got a great start, got a great launch, and then was just a little bit too cautious under braking for red gates. And I saw James go down the inside, and I thought, played a long game. It's a 23-lap race.
Yeah.
And then the first lap, I had more pace than James, but I couldn't really find a spot where I could make a move without us both being held up, because what we really wanted to do after what happened in the first race was to just get a break from the pack and avoid getting sort of swallowed up in all the sort of the drama behind. Yeah. And then unfortunately, then James just dropped the hammer for laps 2, 3 and 4, and I think he did a 14.8 on lap 2 or lap 3, and he just got about a second or a second and a half on me. And
it's very hard to get back.
Yeah, for the next 10 laps, I was more or less, I think we were trading tenths as we were in race 1. And then with about 8 laps to go, you just start sort of thinking, there was no pressure from behind, so and I knew that I was only going to get past James if he made a mistake. So I was trying to just keep him inside, but also leave a little bit of margin, certainly in places like the old hairpin, and there's various points where if you get wide on the exit curbs, it can very quickly just sort of spit you off.
Yeah, especially in the Clios, it's so light on the rear end, so quite a few times people got one wheel, it's just so light, it'll just go round, and there you go, and that's sort of 10 seconds gone, like that.
Exactly.
And you're immediately 5th, 6th, 7th.
Exactly.
So
it just got to a point where the last 7 or 8 laps probably wasn't too exciting for everyone watching, but we were just sort of.
Well, no, there was plenty of other action, no way.
Yeah, that's good.
It was some drama. You watch it back.
I could see that from the timed out, as I was sort of thinking as I was going round. Goodness me, I hope there's some action behind, because this is quite this is a bit of a walk in the park for us.
Yeah, no, you don't have to worry.
But I could see that there were a few battles going on the tracker. So it was
absolutely
really good fun. Really enjoyed it.
Brilliant, excellent. Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
We'll see you next at the endurance race, I believe.
Indeed.
On the
10th of June.
10th of June.
Yep.
Yeah, you practiced well?
Yeah.
I haven't practiced for it yet, but
No, okay. You don't need practice. Too good.
Clio's cancer, no.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's amazing like how much racing in the S-Res just helps with the Clios.
Yeah.
Like,
even though it's a completely different car.
Yeah, it's just looking after tyres, race management, looking after the gap. It's the racecraft that just helps so much.
Yeah.
S-Res is pretty mega as well. There's so many good drivers in it. And
yeah, we're gonna.
Incredibly high.
Istanbul is my favourite track as well in
all
Canada.
time?
Well, I don't think generally, actually.
Yeah,
I don't know why. It's just great. There's lots of drafting opportunities. There's turn 8, obviously, and that's going to destroy your tyres.
TOCA circuit.
Yeah, 100% the best TOCA circuit, I think. Malaysia's pretty good too. We've had 2 TOCA circuits in Torres this year.
Yeah.
And they're the only 2 good ones. That's it. I'm done. I haven't got any other good TOCAs. Any you guys know?
No, I mean.
TOCA drones?
Bahrain sometimes throws up a good race.
Yeah, okay.
And COTA, Circuit of the Americas, is also would be also quite. That's one of his better ones as well. But that's got some similarities with Istanbul, I suppose.
Yeah.
Certainly, it's got a mini replica of Turn 8, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But the thing I found was amazing in testing for Istanbul was just how. It's so technical. There's these complexes of corners where you just have to sort of join the dots through the apices, and it's so easy to gain or lose a huge amount of time in just 2 or 3 corners.
And I found similar with Road Atlanta as well. I think one small mistake was the second. Okay, great. It is a very different circuit though, even though there's that similarity. You've got Blues who've got a bit more space, and if you do have a little accident, you've got a bit more space and the barriers appear generally.
Yeah, it's a lot more forgiving, that's for sure. I don't think I've managed to, even in testing, certainly with Road Atlanta, there were a few times where the sausage curbs, I came off second best to them, shall we say. But certainly in Istanbul testing, you've got lots of. It should be a good race because there's also tarmac runoff, and it means if you have a mistake, it's not as terminal as it would be at somewhere like Red Atlanta. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Brilliant. Yes.
Hopefully
Well,
we can continue. We've sort of always improved every single.
Yeah. Well, he was in the podium.
Race. Yeah, that's the hope.
Last year we had a battle down to the absolute last, like pretty much the last lap after 12 hours. So it's just 6 hours. So hopefully it should be just as close, if not closer. So brilliant. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Make sure you stick around for your trophies and stuff as well, of course. And yeah.
What did we get then?
Yeah, the trophies, guys. Yeah.
What's
the Burger King.
is it for the overall round?
Yes.
Trophies. Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, so you get trophies.
We are 1 and 2 in that. Being 1 and 2 both races.
Yeah, so nice big trophy to take home, and then hopefully another nice big trophy to take home in a month's time, or just under a month's time.
What are the points then? How many points do you get for a race win? And do you do points for pole? And
points are the same as TOCA, which is 25, 22, 20, 19, 18, I think, from memory.
Yeah, mostly though we're just filling in. So,
yes.
But
you still get the trophies. You still
get the trophies, and we might fill in for a few more rounds later. So it's been epic fun.
Good. Thank you very much, guys.
Good.
Awesome.
Thank
Cheers. Thank you, Ben.
Cheers.
Do stick with us, guys. We are just about to start the F2000 race. You're going to be joined by Mark Winwood, who's just taking his seat now, who'll be your lead commentator for this one.
Okay, so here we are getting ready for the second race of the day for the F2000 class. Alongside me is Jack Ashton, who's going to help us with the commentary on this one. So we had a really good race, race one. Chris Hardwick won that quite convincingly. He's on pole for this second race. Alongside him will be Darren Kirk in the Virtual Entertainment Machine. Alistair Dendy, who had a great debut in the series in race 1, coming home in 2nd place, will be 3rd on the grid. Nathan Burton is going to start 4th. 5th will be Colin Talbot. 6th, Jason Eccles. I think that's his best qualifying of the day.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Ben Brown will start 7th. Michael Balding, who was 3rd in the first race, will be starting from 8th place this time. Carl Ranshaw, who also drove a really good race earlier today, will start 9th. And Erwin Klumpers will be 10th. So I think we've got potentially another really exciting race, a good-looking grid for this one.
I reckon Balding may be looking to get up a few places. Was he near the front in the last race?
Yeah, Balding finished 3rd in the first race.
Yeah.
What happened in the first race was there was a big breakaway. The front 3 got away.
Yep.
And they pretty much, Hardwick, Dendy and Balding pretty much had it all their own way at the front. So it'll be interesting to see how Balding can come through from a much lower grid position.
Yeah, make for an interesting race. I think they're on their warm-up lap now.
Yep, just going for the warm-up lap now. We had a few incidents on the warm-up lap in the first race. A few people seemed to go off the track, which is obviously the ultimate rookie mistake.
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing, that, isn't it?
And I think we can just join them in a second.
And here
we are on the warm-up lap. So there's Ben Brown in the orange car there.
Now you're going to be better than me recognising cars. I'm fairly good, but I think
I'll talk you through it. We'll get used to it.
Yeah, we'll get used to it. Let's go.
So yeah, Ben Brown in the orange. Just in front of him, Jason Eccles in the bright yellow car.
Yep.
Up the front here, we've got Chris Hardwick. Just behind him, the 2 virtually entertained cars of Darren Kirk and Alistair Dendy.
They're both the same there, though, aren't they? So that's going to be confusing.
Yeah, so the green and white liveried virtually entertained cars are second and third. That's Kirk and Dendy.
Yep.
4th place here, Nathan Burton in the Barracuda, and then the Cam Sport car there of Colin Talbot.
Yep.
With Eccles behind him in the yellow and Ben Brown there in the orange and black. And there we have Michael Balding in the white car, and Ranshaw there in the grey and the green.
That's quite a nice looking car.
And then Klumpers at the back in his blue and white car.
I'd say that's white and blue.
White and blue, yes. Whichever way you want to call it. So,
looks like Kirk's eager, Beaver there. He's lined up before anyone, and he's 2nd on the grid.
Super eager, just letting his tyres cool down whilst he waits for everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so we will wait for the green flag man at the front there to give us the signal.
Looks like they're all lined up.
They're all in position. Green flag. Ready for the start. And let's go for the second race.
It wasn't a very good start.
Terrible start by
Dendy.
Dendy, yes. Sneaking away well at all. Hardwick's made a good start. Kirk's alongside him. Somebody on the outside here. Looks like Burton. Dendy's made contact with Eccles. Eccles has made a great start. He's into 3rd already.
Klumpers has come through as well.
Yeah, Eccles has gone absolutely out the traps like a rocket. He's all over the back of Darren Kirk down Craner Curves. Here's the tricky bit. First left-hander. Everyone looks like they've got through cleanly this time.
Oh, you say that?
No, someone's off.
2 people.
Spoke
and
too
a
soon.
3rd. Is that Dendy going sideways there?
It looks like we've got... Yeah, Dendy has gone. Ranshaw's hit Dendy, I think.
And Klumpers is out at the back there as well. It's a shame.
So back at the front, Hardwick, Kirk and Eccles.
Eccles doing really well here.
Great start from Eccles from 6th on the grid. And then we've got Nathan Burton and I think Michael Balding in 5th.
Yep.
So Hardwick, as we know, when he gets in this position, he's a difficult man to catch. He likes to lead from the front.
You've got to try and latch on the back of him here if you're going to try and catch him. It's the only thing you can do with Hardwick. He's a very consistent driver.
Yeah, we've seen that several times this series already. Eccles has gone off at Redgate.
That's a shame.
He's going to lose a couple of places at least, I think. And now, here we come. So, Darren Kirk.
Here's a replay.
Here's the replay of...
Oh, that is way too quick there. I think that's Ranshaw, is it? Yes.
Yeah, Ranshaw has run into the back
of Klumpers. And that's where...
And this is where he hits
collects Dendy. Oh.
Frustrating for a driver, that. I mean, race is going to be difficult for those guys now. Darren Kirk hanging on well here, though.
He is doing well.
Chris Hardwick.
These do like a good slipstream as well, so if you can stay in that sort of place, you can catch him. Not necessarily be quicker than him, but catch him via the slipstream.
Yeah, the slipstream is absolutely crucial with these cars. It makes a huge difference, and it's very important to stay in the toe. If you drop out of it, it's difficult to catch. So Kirk has to stay in the toe of Hardwick to have any chance at all. Here's Boulding. He's running third now after Eccles' mishap.
So he's come up, like I said, he's come up from 8th on the grid. That is a very impressive job from Boulding.
And yes, so Kirk is definitely hanging on. He's less than a second behind Chris Hardwick. Looking back from Hardwick now at Darren Kirk behind us.
It's looking like the best battle on track.
Down through the old hairpin. So yeah, Kirk in the slipstream. So this makes it easy to stay with. If you can stay in this slipstream, it really helps you to stay with the driver in front. Kirk, you can see gaining down the straight slightly.
He's doing really well. He's put Chris under pressure there as well.
Yeah, Hardwick's going a bit defensive. And now we're coming onto the straight, the Dunlop straight. Hardwick is moving around, trying to break the toe. He knows that Kirk is there, into the chicane.
He's pushing him. This is a great drive from both of them.
Very neat and tidy through the chicane. Good exit from Kirk. He's there, still in the slipstream. Defensive positioning by Hardwick. Into Redgate, slightly wide, I'd say, Hardwick there.
But a better exit. Definitely a better exit, I feel, there.
Down through Craner curves. Great part of the track, this.
Scary. Very scary.
Easy to make a mistake.
Yeah.
But definitely, Kirk is going to make a fight of this, I think.
Yeah.
And they're pulling away significantly from Michael Boulding. They're already 5 seconds ahead of Boulding in third place.
They did get a good break, though, from that incident.
Yeah, they've got through clean the first couple of laps.
Yeah.
Back onto the Dunlop straight again. Kirk's still there.
Does look like they're sort of building up behind Boulding. Not too much, but on we've got a nice line of them there.
Here's
Quite
Boulding,
uniform.
Burton and Talbot. Nathan Burton there in the Barracuda car. Colin Talbot applying a bit of pressure. He looks quite close. He's in the slipstream of Nathan
doing well
Burton
here, yeah. He's on for a... He's got a great run there. Certainly putting Nathan under a bit of pressure, but he lost a little bit on that exit there by the looks of things.
Yeah, very important on these cars, as with all the cars, really, all the series races.
Carrying the speed, yeah.
Exit from the corners is everything.
Yeah.
So you can see Nathan Burton's pulled a little bit of a gap there from Colin Talbot just through those few corners. Trying to stay with Michael Boulding in front. So yeah, here we go onto the straight again. Boulding, Burton, Talbot, and then Ben Brown in the background there in the orange. And Jason Eccles recovering from his earlier incident, some way down in 7th place.
Collecting a bit of curb there, Nathan.
Yeah, you really don't want to touch the curbs in these cars.
I was going to say, these cars are pretty rigid, so any curbs will really upset them.
Talbot taking the wide entry into Redgate. Trying to get a better exit this time. It looks like he's a bit closer than he was last lap. Down the hill, definitely taking a lot of curb.
Oh.
Don't think
I was going to say that would have been a brave move if he was going to dive there, but no. You think better of it.
So just got to try and stay calm at this stage. Focus on getting right under the rear wing of Nathan Burton before he looks to try and pull an overtaking move.
Make a move, yeah.
Up into Coppice. Talbot there. Keep it neat and tidy. Trying to get a good exit onto this long straight. Down towards the chicane.
And Chris is slowly pulling a little bit of a gap on Kirk now. He's got a second lead over Kirk.
Yeah, so he might just be getting out of that toe, breaking that toe to Kirk. And here on board with Talbot, following Nathan Burton. Up into Redgate, wide line again, uses the pit exit. Looks pretty tidy. So you can see Burton in front of us, and in front of him Michael Balding. Down the hill. Into the old hairpin. Bit wide.
Oh, and so was Nathan.
Nathan made a big mistake, definitely on the grass there.
Nathan's lucky that Colin made a mistake in the entrance, because he would really been right on the back of him if that was the case.
Absolutely.
He is closing now.
Here they come up to Coppice. Very late on the brakes from Talbot. He's got a good entry, but can he get not such a good exit though? I think maybe not quite close enough to get fully into the slipstream here. He's closing slowly.
It shows you there. That really does show you the catching speed from the slipstream.
It's slightly untidy through the chicane, just a little bit. Lost him a few car lengths. Oh, and Ben Brown is alongside us, look. Just on the left, you can see Ben Brown obviously got a tremendous slipstream.
Come out of nowhere.
Ben Brown's going over the
inside.
inside.
Great cutback as well there. That was a brilliant manoeuvre.
Great driving by Ben Brown, and he's through.
Awesome.
Now, can he get Nathan Burton? Oh, he's lost it on the brakes.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, and they've got locked together. Talbot's kept going.
And, oh, yeah.
Well, Ben Brown went from 0 to 0 there.
Yeah, that was a real shame.
Tremendous move on Talbot, and then looks like, I don't know what happened. What do you think happened down the Craner curves for Ben Brown?
He went a bit hot through the Craners and carried a lot of speed into the braking zone for old hairpin. Let's have a little look. Oh, this is the run he gets on the exit of the chicane. See, Colin got a really bad exit.
Yeah, so that allowed Brown to get alongside.
Yeah.
Down towards Redgate on the outside. Talbot braked very late. Maybe distracted by Burton.
Yeah, and then a nice cutback by Ben, keeping his cool.
Lovely cutback.
But then later on down here we see...
and then I think he was right in the slipstream perhaps of Burton.
Yeah, I feel he carried a lot of pace there. He ran wide there to then move across too sharply to the left. To get on the brakes.
Didn't seem to do much wrong, but
it didn't. No, it just lost a bit of balance of the car into the braking zone, and it really unsettled him and just put him into a slide.
Back here live with Colin Talbot, running 5th. So after that incident, he's lost a lot of ground on Burton in front of him. So he's a bit on his own. Here's Burton, 4th place.
And Chris doing his usual thing out in front. He's now pulled a 1.5 second to 1.7 second lead on Kirk.
Just opening the gap slowly but surely.
Slowly. That consistency is real key.
Yeah, so he's got it up to 1.5 seconds. I mean, Darren Kirk is hanging on well, but
he's doing a good job compared to most people we see attempts against Chris in these cars.
Absolutely.
He's doing a good job staying there.
So, on what lap are we on? We're on lap 9. Lap 10 of 26. So 16 laps to go. Plenty of the race left. Mistake by Kirk.
Oh, no. And that's just not what he needed. Them mistakes can just... and there we go. That's the second loss just from that one manoeuvre.
Yeah, that is probably going to be... He's now relying on a mistake from Chris Hardwick somewhere, I think.
And we know how unlikely that is from the man himself.
Commentator's curse. Guaranteed not to make a mistake.
Let's not mention any more then.
So yeah, nearly a 3-second lead for Chris Hardwick now. Down into the chicane. Neat and tidy. Stay off those red curbs. Get a good exit.
I think our closest battle on field is Dendy catching Clumpers.
So Dendy recovering from his terrible start.
Only half a second behind Clumpers, so you may be able to see something.
And of course Carl Ranshaw, who drove really well in the first race, has had a bit of a nightmare here.
Yeah, he had that incident, didn't he, old hairpin, that really ruined his race, really. It probably put his morale down as well, which is not helping him. Here is the battle for Dendy on Clumpers. Dendy started on 3rd, so it's a recovery drive here for him now. Clumpers started 10th, so
Clumpers was a little bit wide there.
Yeah.
And this could give Dendy the chance to have a bit of a run at him. Can he do it into the old hairpin? It's a tough place to pass.
It's tricky.
I think's better of it.
Put him under a bit of pressure. Clumpers keeping his cool.
Yep, just keep staying in the mirrors.
Yeah.
Moving around. And they... Oh, he's having a little look.
And a little tap there.
Bit of a nudge.
Sent him wide. I don't know what Clumpers is.
He gave him a bit of a nudge.
Yeah, it's a bit of an ABC, that one, wasn't it? Advantage by contact, would we say?
Yes, so a little bit of contact, just pushes Clumpers wide onto the grass.
On the grass, yeah. Maybe seeing something from the stewards there, unless he gives the place back. He's deciding against it by the looks of things.
So ahead of Dendy is Eccles in the bright yellow car,
which had a great start, but then put it on the grass on the exit red gate, wasn't it, on lap 2 or so?
He was absolutely flying on the first lap or so. But the standard of this championship is pretty high, and you can't afford really any mistakes if you're going to win. He's off again.
Running wide. It's really not going to help, and there we go. I think that's going to be the position lost. One small mistake.
Dendy swoops around the outside and Schwantz curve. Yeah, lost a lot of momentum there, Eccles. You can see the difference in speed. And Dendy takes the place away. He's up to 7th. So he'll be chasing down Ben Brown, but he's got a 6-second gap to cross. So he's going to be head down and try and...
It's going to be tricky, but there is quite a few laps to go. How many laps? We're at lap 13.
Yeah, halfway through this 26-lap race.
So still a long way to go, really.
Down to the chicane again. Dendy just trying to pull away from Eccles, get him out of his slipstream. Very important with these cars.
And I'm right in thinking that Ranshaw's just overtaken Clumpers, and Clumpers, it looks like he's stopped on the exit of the chicane. Has he had a mistake there? Yeah.
Yeah, so Ranshaw up into 9th position. Something has happened to Clumpers.
Yeah, something happened there.
Watching Dendy trying to recover through the field. Here's a replay. This will be Clumpers, I think.
Ranshaw behind him. On Clumpers, diving into the chicane. It's a risky move. Collecting each other.
Contact.
Oh.
And Clumpers just sort of bailed out. He just kind of...
Yeah, well, he sort of got forced into it as well, really. It's
a forceful move, that
yeah, it was very forceful. I think a bit aggressive, considering he's so far down. He's probably trying a bit too hard to get up again. In situations like that, you just got to keep your head down and keep you cool.
So Dendy, there you can see just ahead of him is Ben Brown, and Boulding has made a mistake.
Oh no. That's a loss of the podium position. He's now in 4th place.
So I guess he dropped it coming out the old hairpin and has spun across the track, and that's given Britan 3rd position
and
at the moment.
And Talbot really catching onto the back here now.
Talbot's got a real...
He's going to get a run here as well. He's going to go up the inside.
He's got up the inside. I think he should be able to take the place here into Coppice. Nicely done. Just get a good exit. He'll have Boulding in his slipstream down the straight towards the chicane.
You want to defend that right. Oh, he's gone there.
He's left the door open.
It's hopefully not a repeat of the manoeuvre of Ranshaw, but no, he backs out of it. Smart considering the chicane is very tight.
Yeah, you can't get 2 cars through side by side.
And here's Boulding running wide, just spits him out. That's it.
Yep, just drop the rear wheel onto the grass coming out of the old hairpin, and it just spits you across the track. But he's regrouping, and now he's got Talbot in front of him. See if he can force a pass somewhere.
Yeah, put Talbot under a bit of pressure. Oh, really weaving on the brakes into the old hairpin. That's not what you want there, to be unstable in that corner. It's a very fast corner. And undulating with all the hills here at Donington.
Yeah, sure. It's one of those corners that can catch you out. So here we have Darren Kirk running in 2nd place. He's 7.6 seconds behind Chris Hardwick now, so I think he's almost conceded that he can't.
And maybe
match
pushing hard to keep with him has done his tyres in as well. And
yeah, in the background there you can see Nathan Burton not that far behind, so you can see him. So something for Burton to chase after. And here's Boulding again, following Talbot after his small mistake, seeing if he can make a recovery.
Collins had a great race here though. Collins started 5th and he's upped into 4th.
Yeah, he's been driving well today.
He's
putting some
driving smooth, and considering he had that incident earlier, he's come up to 4th. That's a very impressive drive from Colin.
Boulding's got good exit there, I think, in comparison to Talbot. So he's going to be all over the back of him coming into McLean's.
Oh,
he's having a look.
No, back thinks better of it. He's lost a lot of time from that though.
Yeah,
if you're going to go for it, I think maybe do it. If you back out like that, you've just lost yourself quite a bit of time there.
Yeah.
He's now got to do a lot of leg work catching up.
Yeah, you want to really try and keep your move until you're right under the rear wing of the car in front, and then you can actually effect a proper pass. Just doing that, what it's going to do is cost you time.
Yeah. And we saw that repeated the chicane lap or two before as well. So just little things like that can cost you a lot of time.
Back down to Redgate. Boulding in the white car. Just
also looks like Ranshaw is on the move, putting in a new purple sector in sector 2, sorry, and catching onto the back of Eccles. So maybe something to look for.
So Ranshaw is flying. Oh, someone's off the track here. It looks like Clumpers. And that is Chris Hardwick lapping Clumpers there. So Clumpers' race is going from bad to worse. And we've got Dendy off the track.
Oh,
where
is he
is
deciding to... He's retiring. He's had enough.
Well,
that's a shame. A real shame.
Great debut in race 1, but not so good race 2. So he is out. And here we have Talbot with Boulding still behind him. So is Boulding going to get a bit closer before he tries to make a move?
Looks like he could get a better exit here, and a bit of slipstream may help him.
Yeah, sometimes it's tempting to be too over-eager to put the pass, but you've just got to...
Ran deep into that corner, but it looked like he could get a good exit here, considering it's a late turn in at Redgate.
Yeah, you can get away with a very late entry turn into Redgate and still get good exit.
Quite tight through... and that's...
we're in the garage or something.
Yeah, that was Dendy in the garage. Oh, Clumpers is in the garage.
So Clumpers is a retirement, so we've got 2 out of this race so far. 8 runners left. Talbot still keeping it clean. This is looking back from Talbot, Boulding behind us. So actually he's keeping that few car lengths all the time.
Yeah, he's keeping the gap quite steady.
Boulding can't quite get right into his slipstream at the right place, it seems.
Yeah. Always catching him at the wrong times, I feel. Yeah, you're right.
Into the chicane.
That was good there from Colin.
Neat and tidy, really nice.
And Ranshaw is now catching on the back of Eccles as well, so that could be an interesting battle.
Here they are. Eccles in the yellow car. Ranshaw behind him in the grey and green. Ranshaw flying after his...
made a mistake on the exit there, though. That cost him a lot of time.
So they're now squabbling over 7th and 8th place, these two. Ranshaw pushing hard. Down Craner curves. Eccles is slightly wide there, I don't know. Might be his line. And here's Boulding behind Talbot.
These are getting close now.
Closer than he's been.
Colin getting a good exit for the straight, which is not how always got
Talbot's on the grass
though, so this could be looking like...
So is he going to get defensive?
Sat in the middle of the track.
So Boulding did the right thing there, he didn't try anything.
If he can get a good exit here, it could be on for a nice move, because we know
He did get a good exit.
Yeah, Colin can break a little early here in this corner because we've seen Balding go quite deep on him.
Holding the inside. Balding's trying to go around the outside. No.
As I said on the brakes, but the outside's not going to work there, unfortunately. This is great racing.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, Balding really, he's got close enough now, but it's just a question of trying to identify where he can.
Yeah, just sort of examining Colin and see where he's quicker and making the best of that. And he's looking to dive there again, or is that just his line? Tighter line. Working better for Colin there, though.
Yeah, Colin is maintaining it. Through Coppice. Yeah, and you can see Talbot's got a few car links there, just through his couple of corners. And this is where you really want to be in the slipstream, down here.
And I think where Colin's getting the exit out of that corner, it's helping him, because if he weren't to get a good exit out there, then all it needs is a little bit of slipstream, and Balding will be straight on the back of Talbot.
So lap 21, 5 laps to go.
I believe Ranshaw has just overtaken Eccles, so that's when Eccles is off, I think. So maybe something happened there, I'm not sure.
So here we're on board with Balding, chasing after Colin Talbot, I think. Through the old hairpin.
Here's a replay. Yeah, it is Eccles and Ranshaw, so Eccles in front of Ranshaw at the moment. Oh, he's ran wide, touched the grass, that's it.
That corner, if you get on 2 wheels on the grass there, it just sucks you out onto the gravel.
And he spun as well, it's really not helped. Back to Colin, looking back at Balding.
Keeping a tighter line this time, Balding, but he's desperate to get right into that slipstream, and again, he's not really close enough. Down into the chicane, he's going to have to just keep it neat and tidy, try and get an exit from here. But you've got to say, Colin Talbot is driving an excellent race.
He is doing really well, yeah. What's the gap like for Nathan and Darren Kirk?
5 seconds, it looks like.
So yeah, we said that Nathan had him in his sights earlier, but
he hasn't really been able to.
Not quite been able to close the gap.
No, so Talbot still keeping his cool, not making any mistakes, really. Just
not really. No, he's keeping it on the black stuff.
Looking tidy. It's hard to see where Balding is going to pass unless Talbot makes a mistake somewhere. But he hasn't shown any signs of doing that so far.
No, not at all.
At the front, Hardwick has a 12-second lead over Darren Kirk now. So
and only 3 laps to go, I see, on the 23rd lap.
So really, it's going to come down to these two for the closest battle on track at the moment.
Yeah. He's really harsh on the brakes there, Balding, compared to Colin. That's where he gains the most of his time. So, like we were saying earlier, I think that's his place to shine if he's going to make a manoeuvre.
Yeah, I think he needs to really focus on getting a good exit out of the chicane, getting right under Talbot's rear wing and trying to outbrake him into the mid-gate.
Yeah.
But it's easier said than done.
Absolutely.
And he's pretty close here. He's closer than he has been for several laps. On board with Balding.
This is a good shot here.
Slightly wide from Talbot there, up into Coppice. This is where you just need to focus on the exit is everything out of this corner.
Oh, he's running a little bit wide. This could get a good slipstream now down the straight. But like we're saying, we want to be reserved through this chicane so he can get a good exit for the first corner, because that is where he wants to be doing a dive.
Keep it tidy.
Not doing manoeuvres like that because it can slow him down.
Yeah, he just wants to keep it tidy and just go through the chicane, focusing all on just staying close and getting a good exit rather than trying to have a look into the chicane, which costs him time.
Which now he's lost a little bit from behind him now. And here we'll see him really close up on the brakes. And it scared Colin a little bit there, as you see. Not quite any room to look anywhere though.
Down Craner curves, through the left. into the old hairpin.
Colin much quicker through there.
Colin,
Great run.
He's quick through there, no doubt about it. And this is actually enabling to defend his position because he's gaining time there.
Yes.
Bowling's a bit fast in there, I think. He's almost getting a little bit desperate.
He's maybe trying too hard on the brakes, and instead of keeping you cool and doing your usual thing, he's trying to push himself a bit too hard, maybe.
Yeah, and he's storming into the corners,
Yeah.
but it's costing him his speed on the exit.
Here we go. If we can get a good...
It's all about
Just didn't carry enough speed there, and Colin's getting a good exit again, so yeah. Only, is this the last lap now? Or
so Hardwick's on lap
laps.
25.
Oh, we were saying about him running deep there. He really lost a lot of time.
Yeah, he is. He's a bit too late on the brake, bit too much speed in, and look how much time it's cost him. So that could be his last chance.
Yeah. He's a second behind already, just from that one mistake.
Oh, and he's onto the grass. He's pushing so hard now. He knows he needs to catch
maybe
up.
his tyres as well, where he's been pushing a bit too hard to get him, is worn him out a bit and got him overheated.
Here is Chris Hardwick, out front on his own, 15 seconds ahead.
Doing his thing.
Once again, another faultless performance from Chris Hardwick in this second race. He really is the class of this field at the moment.
I think it's definitely worthy of some footage, as he seems to not get many footage, as he's usually out on his own.
He's always so far out in front. So here we are, last half lap of the race for Chris Hardwick.
It's just like clockwork for him, isn't it?
Oh.
Running rather wide there, though.
He's just trying to keep us entertained.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows we're watching him.
Still pushing. Down the straight for the final time. And into the chicane. So a brilliant performance by Chris Hardwick in the second race today. Chris Hardwick crosses the line to win the second F2000 race of the day. A dominant performance again.
Takes the checkered flag, lovely. And that gap he pulled on Darren, which we were thinking that Darren could have stayed not too far behind him, has really pulled out to quite a big substantial.
Darren Kirk finishes in second position, and we wait for Nathan Burton to come across the line for the final podium spot.
Looks like he's happy with third there. I think he should be, really.
Good drive by Nathan Burton. And then we wait for Colin Talbot. Has he hung on? It looks like he has. Colin Talbot finishes fourth, with Balding in fifth. So good defensive, just
great drive from Colin. Yeah,
Talbot. He really absorbed the pressure. And Ben Brown comes across the line in sixth position, and we just wait for Carl Ranshaw, who will finish seventh. There he goes, and Jason Eccles in eighth place. The two retirements of Alistair Zendy and Erwin Klumpers. So Eccles a long way behind at the end.
And
there
he comes. Here he comes, taking the checkered flag.
Eighth place for Eccles. So, another brilliant race. Another masterclass really from Chris Hardwick there. Never really looked troubled.
He didn't.
Darren Kirk tried to hang on for the first few laps, but
then just one or two errors just put him back.
Yeah, this is the thing. Hardwick is so fast, so consistent that not only have you got to be able to run his pace, you've also got to do it without making mistakes, and that's a big challenge. So confirmation of the results here in the race 2. Chris Hardwick wins it convincingly. Darren Kirk second.
And
Nathan Burton third.
Surprisingly, looking at that, is Darren fastest lap.
He did get fastest lap.
5.1 of a second.
Pipped it. So yeah, I mean, we saw he had the pace early on. It was just he couldn't maintain it.
Yeah. And maybe that was the tyres, down to the tyres looking after him.
So what we'll try and do is get a word with the top 3 drivers
before we go into the pod.
Before we go into the final touring car race of the day for the reverse grid race. So fairly clean race for you.
Yeah, it was pretty clean for me. Managed to stay out of trouble at the beginning, got a decent start, and then was just following Michael Balding until he decided to bin it.
Yes, he made a mistake out the old hairpin.
Yes.
So that allowed you, and you were sort of on your own after that.
Seat for that one.
Yeah. So then you were really on your own. It was just a case of.
Yeah, I was really pushing, trying to catch up with Darren. Managed to close the gap a little bit, but then made 3 critical errors on critical laps.
Yeah.
I would have closed in on him because I think he made a mistake on that lap as well.
Yeah.
But I'm still really happy with third.
Yeah, no, great result. So, yeah, that'll move you up in the championship, I guess, and yeah.
Hopefully keep me in the top 5.
Yeah. Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
So Darren Kirk, who finished in second place in that race, it looked like you had the pace at the start there, Darren, to run with Chris Hardwick, but as the race wore on, it seemed you just dropped back a bit.
Yeah, Chris is incredibly quick in this car. I mean, he's the double USF champion. So at the start, I got a clean getaway, which was nice.
Yeah.
And then I sort of started working on pushing Chris as hard as I could. I did set the quickest lap of the race, though.
You did get fastest lap by
only
10th.
by 10th, but don't tell him that. And I made the tiniest mistake at the bottom of the hill, and at that point, I could see I was pushing Chris. I was flat out trying to keep up with him.
Yeah.
I made a tiny little mistake, and I thought everyone's miles behind me.
And we were saying in commentary, once you drop out of the slipstream of the car in front, it's very difficult to get back into it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't keep up. I was driving everything out of that car, and then unfortunately it was about 7 or 8 laps I made that mistake, and at that point I just backed it off.
Yeah, so you were never really threatened behind, so it was, after that it was a fairly lonely race for you.
Yeah, it was like my first race, but this time I was in second rather than 7th.
Good, well done. Good effort.
Yeah, look forward to watching that back.
Cool, right.
I suppose you want Chris now?
Yep, we'll get Chris in, have a quick word with him. Right, yeah. So, a double victory for Chris Hardwick today. Another dominant performance in that second race.
It's not as easy as it looks, believe me.
You made it look easy. It looked like Darren had the pace to sort of run with you for the first few laps. Did you feel under pressure?
Yes, he had me worried, because when he wants to, he's pretty quick.
And it just looked like he made a couple of mistakes, and we were saying in commentary, once you drop out of the slipstream with these cars, it's difficult to get back in.
Yeah, I don't know whether he was close enough to sort of be in the slipstream, but I was sort of moving about anyway, just in case. And but yeah, I kept doing tiny little mistakes that just give the car behind it just a little bit of a sniff. They think, oh, I'm putting pressure on him now.
Yeah.
So, but I saw he sort of went off, and once it sort of gone beyond a second and a half, then the car behind then like pushes even more to try and catch up. And at that point, you think, well, they'll start making more mistakes then. So then it was I just tried to see how far I could get.
Yeah, so a double win today for you looks really good for your championship position.
Yeah.
Stuart Goff not here, of course, this weekend. So
yes, I think that it would have been a different race had he been here, because he was obviously he's a pro and he's ridiculously quick. It would have been fun to have kind of pitched myself against him to see if I could have matched him, but because I felt so good out there, it was just even little mistakes. It was just I was able to sort of correct it and not lose any time, and obviously I didn't have to sort of pay attention to tyres really because I was sort of not under any pressure. So yeah, but it would be interesting if he was there to sort of see kind of.
We look forward to seeing the battle next round between the two of you. So I think this will be a championship fight that should go all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations on another dominant performance.
Thank you very much. Well, I didn't get fastest lap. Darren beat me, didn't he?
He did tell me to remind you about that. He was 10th quicker, fastest
I
lap.
I did try to see if I could beat it, but I thought if I go off, I'll look very silly. So
absolutely, yeah. Anyway, well done.
Cool,
Chris.
awesome. Thank you very much.
So the next race we have coming will be the final touring car race of the day, the reverse grid race. So that should be a really exciting end to the event today. And I believe you'll have Ben Turner with you for commentary on that one.
Yeah, so welcome back to the live coverage of the Simply Race British Championship. I'm back, Ben, and this is Darren, and I'm wearing some rather interesting sunglasses.
Yeah, is it bright enough in here for you?
Well, I obviously, as you know, I wear glasses normally, and actually I can't read anything now, so I might have to quickly switch over to the real things. These are Mark's, who is commentating on the last event. We are just about to start the final race for today. It's the third race of the SRTCC. We've got 4 different cars driving front-wheel drive, mid-rear front-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive touring cars, and they will be racing on the Donington Park circuit. We've got 27 laps of action in store. We're hoping for a nice, clean, calm start, and then a frantic race to the finish from the drivers, and hopefully we'll see a nice and clean race. And the drivers are just about to start their pace lap now, and we'll just quickly have a look at what happened last time, or we'll just talk about what happened last time. So Jack Ashton was the winner in race number 2 today. He will now start in 9th place as a result of the reverse grid with 75 kilos of weight. And obviously we know that Jack Ashton is absolutely rapid, even despite the weight. He was still one of the quickest drivers out there in both the first and second races today.
But 2 guys that he's pretty much raced with all day are going to be in 7th and 8th in front of him, so it'll be interesting to see how well all 3 of those can progress through the pack. Actually, give them a bit of racing to do through some of the other guys. And then you've got a few guys that perhaps are a little bit slower, should we say, just in front.
To be honest,
when we're talking about
the 3 people, and then there's everyone else, I would say.
When you're talking about slow, we're not talking about 20, 30 seconds or something. We're talking about what? Half a second? Whatever. Everyone's so quick around this track. So they will certainly be fighting to try and hold on to those positions. They've got less weight as well, that'll give them a little bit of an advantage. And then you've got a few guys right at the back who will want to be making a point.
Like Anthony Jordan.
Yeah, if he can keep
and
out
Sean
of
King. Here are the drivers then as they start their pace lap. It's Colin Talbot who's on pole position. I'm not sure if it might be his first pole position at the Simply. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's his first pole position, and he'll be leading the way from Wilson, Klodek, Goodger, Scott, Winwood, Boyce. Then we've got the top 3 so far today: Manley, Richards, and Ashton. Richards and Ashton are tied on points for today so far, and basically the top. Essentially, whoever comes first out of 2 of them will win today's overall trophy. And then behind them, the guys that weren't on the reverse grid. So we've got Paul Day, Sean King, and Anthony Jordan. So and those guys obviously have no weight at all on them, whereas everyone else does have some weight. And Ashton with the most with 75 kilos.
I think it's going to be a very interesting race.
It's going to be a proper touring car.
Yeah, touring car race 3 is always the chaotic one. I think that's a BMW trying to.
Yeah, it's
a bit of a sneaky.
A little practice start there from I think that was Steve Boyce.
Yeah. And they've got the final 2 just gridding up now. So who's your money on?
I'm going to put my money on Lewis Manley.
Right, I'm going to have to say Jack, purely because he's my teammate.
And
but you know who it's going to be, don't you? It'll be Richards.
Of course it will. Here we go, and a great start for Steve Boyce in the BMW 1 Series. He goes straight to the middle with that rear-wheel drive traction, and Lewis Manley on the inside is really struggling to get past, I think that's Winwood, and all 3 of our top runners are now a couple of places up, but running very, very close together. At the moment at the front, we've got Talbot, Wilson, Klodek, and there's a little bit of tyre smoke, but I think everyone made it. Oh, who's that? Is that? That's Talbot, isn't it?
Just taking a unique line through there.
He manages to keep it going, and very well done to everyone for avoiding him. And Wilson is now our race leader. And,
we've got Jordan off in the background with someone.
Anthony Jordan off again. Paul Day. Paul Day's been in the wars today, hasn't he? And up the inside there, that was Winwood. Oh no, it was Ashton, I think, on Boyce.
So Manley's had the best start out of those 3.
Maybe I've made a good bet, Darren.
Maybe.
Here is Manley. He's putting a lot of pressure on Glodek for second. Glodek's had a good start there, and he's I don't know where he started actually. He started third, I think, actually, to be fair. But Manley, what a rocket start from 7th, and he's looking up the inside of Redgaze, keen to get a move on with his. Oh no! And he's just gone in so deep, and manages to keep it pointing in the right direction, but I don't know how to call that one. I probably want to see another replay of it. And
he's definitely fallen down the field though, hasn't he?
Manley down to 8th place behind Talbot, who was our pole sitter.
He's got a lot of work to do from there, but if anyone can do it, it's going to be Manley.
Yeah, absolutely. And that does give Richards 3rd place and Ashton in 4th. And those two guys are going to be hammer and tong for well, the overall spoils today as well. Can one of them take the victory from that far back on the grid? We'll have to wait and see. And there's Manley going up a place into 7th.
I think I've just heard an announcement over there, Tannoy, a very quick announcement to give Shamak a drive-through penalty.
Okay, interesting. He did turn in, I'll grant him that. And,
yeah.
It's just whether or not for me, whether it was quite a late move from Manley or not. Here is the replay. So on board with Shamak, he starts turning in, and there's the. It was quite clearly past him and going to get to the apex, I would have thought. So it's probably a fair penalty.
Yeah, so we'll see when he comes in to take that. He's not taking it this lap.
So he's just in front of Manley, so Manley's going to have to try and do it again or waste a little bit more time behind Shamak. And they head down. Manley hasn't lost that much time though. He's only 4 seconds off the race leaders. Wilson, who's your race leader, he's Winwood's our race leader. I think we're having a bit of change of position at the moment. Hopefully we can cut to the race leaders. And they are side by side at the moment, I believe. So there we go. There is Winwood, and he's just taken the race lead.
Oh, but Ashton and Richards
behind, yeah, absolutely. Ashton and Richards were behind. Oh, here's the replay. Anyway, here's coming into turn 1. This is Ashton, and
he's alongside, isn't he?
Yeah, Richards. Yeah, he's alongside here. Is there a bit of contact, or just really, really close racing?
Oh, I think. Are we going to see Winwood take the place? So that's how Ashton got through, and that's how Winwood got through as well.
There you go. So 2 in 1 there. Thank you very much, Dean. And we go back to live, and we've got Winwood leading, Wilson second, Richards ahead of Ashton. So just behind what we're seeing, we've got Ashton and Richards, our top 2 drivers so far today. Really going hammer and tongue for 3rd and 4th place.
There's a lot of smoke in the background there through the old hairpin. I don't know if that's Ashton has dropped down behind Richards. They're side by side though.
Yeah.
So I can see on just one of these other screens that they've been battling side by side throughout most of the lap.
Yeah, there's Ashton in front. So Ashton's in front of Richards then, and as they head on to the Dunlop Straight, good move from Ashton to take that. He's got slightly more weight, hasn't he?
There's a lot of weaving in the background. I think that was Boyce going for a defensive move on King. So it'd be interesting. Yep, I think
Boyce is still ahead. Yeah,
he's kept that place.
There's another replay.
So here we go. So this is
the move. Is it up the hill then towards the right-hander, and he does incredibly well then to hold that, and very well done to Jack. Ashton moves up into 3rd place. Coming down the hill, this is Glodek, and still in front of Manley. I don't think Glodek's served that penalty yet.
No, again, I just heard race control telling him he's got to come in this lap. Obviously, you get 3 laps to.
Yeah, to serve a penalty traditionally. Yeah, absolutely. And here is. This is King, sorry. So King pushing hard on Boyce, and Boyce is currently in 7th place. So this is 7th and 8th position on the road. I'd have to say that this race start has been the cleanest we've seen today from the touring cars.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of contact further back, but
yeah,
they certainly kept it clean. King decides against a move this time.
Yeah, Paul Day was the big loser from the start of the race, and
so Glodek taking his drive through penalty, although he stopped. So
it's a stop-go penalty.
Was it stopped? I don't know. They did. I just could hear out the corner of my
corner of your ear.
Yeah,
okay.
That one.
Excellent stuff. So here comes King. Oh, is someone facing the wrong way there? Is that Paul Day?
Yeah, you can hear them in the background. It was a drive-through they gave him, and he stopped. But yeah, this is Wilson, Ashton, and Richards. So Ashton's going for the... No, I don't think he's going to be able to go up the inside here. His best chance is just to hang back and then...
Then Richards is really going to pressurise him if he doesn't make a move soon. Lights on for Ashton as he comes along straight. And he's going to make him guess which way he's going to go. He's going to go down to the inside now. No real covering from Wilson and his purple Chevrolet.
But
on board
Ashton's
with Ashton.
done all his moves into the first corner.
All of them?
I think pretty much. Oh no, he had one earlier on that was into the chicane, but generally he's gone for the sort of the double run, getting up here.
Just scares him off from turn one, and there he is, Ashton, going past then into second place, and following him is going to be Richard. Richards is very keen to get past because otherwise he's seeing his main rival disappear off into the distance, and there goes Ashton past Wilson and leaving Richards in his dust.
And I think that car we saw backwards in the gravel trap at turn one is Day, who is 2 laps down already, so obviously not had a good day today.
No. So, here's a bit of side-by-side action. This is
Manley.
Manley is right on Richards now. I didn't realise how close Manley was, and here they go. And
he's flashing his lights.
Yeah, Richards has turned from attack to defence. Coming to the final chicane. This is Jordan, and is he going to hit the curb? He does a little bit, but doesn't end up upside down this time round. And they come into turn number 1. Richards on the defence, with Manley all over the back of that car. Here is Jordan as well. Jordan tries to go around the outside of Redgate, doesn't make it happen this time. He's got a good run though towards the Craner curves. You also can see in the foreground it was King attacking Boyce yet again. And again, we're coming back to that battle for 4th place with Richards and Manley.
Yeah, we've got a few...
Oh no!
There's Jordan going
Jordan's off. He's mowing the lawn.
That's not the quickest way to get around this track.
No. But foot in, kept it going, didn't he? And he's not upside down, so that's a positive as well.
Yeah, he's doing better than the last race.
So, this is Boyce defending hard from King, and he's been defending hard from King for a good few laps now, and has to go to the inside then into the S's. He's going to make Sean King go the long way round, and we know that Sean King doesn't like doing that round this particular section of the circuit. And a good defensive job from Boyce there.
Got a good couple of battles going on here.
It's almost a bit too much.
Yeah, whichever one we go to, the action will be at the next one. But King has a look up the inside.
That's just about doable, and he does bail out just enough for them to get away with it. And heading down the hill onto the brakes hard for King. He's getting a really good run. Oh no, I say he's getting a really good run. I've just commentated. Oh, he's going to lose it there, isn't he? Oh, yeah. I think he held it. Oh my God, there's too much happening. So moving up into...
And Wilson and Manley make
Wilson
contact.
Manley have a bit of contact. Wilson moves down into 5th place.
Wilson's going to have a good run.
Yeah, Wilson... Well, Manley's got to be careful that Wilson doesn't have a go at him on the inside of the S's here. And he's going to, isn't he? Possibly. No, he bails out. So Manley and Richards go through. Wilson in 5th. And then a bit of a gap down to 6th place for Boyce. It's great to see the resumption of this battle between Manley and Richards. They've been entertaining us all day. And it's going to be a good end to the day by the looks of things for the 130 Racing team. You've got Winwood in 1st and Ashton in 2nd.
That gap has started to come down a little bit though, so I think let's have a look at their lap times actually. There's 108.8, 108.9. Okay, so they're lapping at the same pace.
Yeah. So we'll
Jack's got a lot of work to do to make that gap up.
Yeah, 2.8 seconds. We know that Jack's pretty good on his tyres, so we'll have to raise it. As is Mark, though. To be fair,
yes.
Both tyre fairies.
Yeah, and obviously Winwood's going to want a good result after his difficult races earlier on today.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. He hasn't had the all of the luck, so we'll have to see if Mark Winwood can end the day on a high
with a win.
With a win, yeah, absolutely. And it'll be interesting to see how he ends up in the entire point score. He must be up there for we're on board now. Sorry, then with Matt Goodgescott, and this is Steve Boyce ahead. So what's happened to King? So King dropped down.
Yeah,
then.
he went wide.
He went wide.
Yeah.
Did, yeah. So
and I think the car in front is Glodak. Obviously,
yes, it would be a lap down.
But he'll still be a quick car.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. What we might start seeing is that Boyce and that rear-wheel drive car might start coming back to him. I don't know if it's been a little bit different actually. We've seen less of the. Oh, that's a really good run then from Goodgescott, and elbows out from Goodgescott. And who's that following in? Is
Anthony
that
Jordan?
Anthony Jordan? Oh dear! Oh no! At least he's not upside down, I guess.
Yeah.
I need to see that again.
Yeah,
really.
I think the problem I've got with that is you can see two cars are leaning on each other.
Yeah.
So the chances are they're both going to back out a little bit to give each other room, or one of them's going to go firing.
Yeah.
Like that's what's going to happen. If you've got a good run, would you just try and overtake them, or I don't know.
I would really hug the inside if I was
yeah,
Anthony.
I wouldn't try and go into the back of where they are. I would want to be a car's width past, but we're going to get a replay. So this is what we want to see. So you see this move,
which is a fine, legitimate manoeuvre, I think.
And then he's running the back. He's had to brake as well. Yeah. I think he's come off a lot worse there, to be honest.
Well, 100%. I think I probably would have gone for it, but I don't know where. It's hard to see where the car was in relation to the other side.
Oh well. He's now back down in 10th.
Anthony's not had the best of days. Jack Ashton slightly gaining on Winwood in the meantime, 2.5 seconds. Sounded like a decision made in the background.
We're just going to find out what that decision was.
Maybe you might argue that actually I'm looking at the other screen that possibly could be Steve Boyce turning in slightly. I mean, it's marginal. We'll give you the replay in a second.
It's Paul Day's getting a drive through.
Paul Day?
Paul Day.
Steve Boyce.
Steve Boyce, sorry. Yeah.
Difficult one. I see it. He is. I mean, Anthony is fully past him at that point as well.
Oh, he's gone hard into the wall there.
Oh, some nice donuts. And here is Richards. Richards is currently in 4th place, chasing down Manley. They're a bit too. Well, Manley's managed to get a bit more space between the two of them. Manley's got a little bit less weight. Two of them, though, are not catching Jack Ashton ahead. Ashton is catching Winwood.
Only by a tenth.
Yeah.
It's like...
But very, 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 very slowly.
Let's say 10th and a half, shall we?
Okay, so 10th and a half. We've got 10 laps to go, or 12 laps to go.
He's not going to do it, is he?
Well...
Don't forget as well, Jack's got that extra weight on his car. So his tyres are going to be worn that little bit more. And
this is King lining up Jordan.
Oh, who was that going off? Was that Jack?
It is
Jack
Ashton, I believe.
So maybe he's pushing that little bit too hard.
Oh, there's King
off. I do know if you keep running wide on that corner, that's where these drive-through penalties are coming from for track limits. So
okay, so track limits certainly a key thing to kind of sort out for the drivers.
Yeah, so there's Jack just making a slight mistake, just pushing it hard. Although Manley will have seen that.
Yes.
Manley will know that
Yes.
he's pushing it, and you can bet that Manley's going to be throwing everything to try and get on the back. And the same with Richards on the back of Manley.
Yeah.
So these three have had a really good battle across 3 races today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Winwood's going to feel a little bit more comfortable now, but what we are going to see is possibly a big 3-way battle for the overall win today between Ashton, Manley and Richards. We have 12 laps remaining, and it's likely that Jack will probably start to be struggling with a bit of tyre wear with that extra little bit of weight that he has on his car.
He did have the first race with full weight on though, didn't he? So at least he knows what to expect.
Yeah,
unlike
true.
Richard's last race where he went from none to 75 kilo. That's
you start learning where you've got to brake differently.
It's like having a passenger in your boot.
It's like having
passenger in your boot.
It's like having half a Darren Kirk.
Half. No, it's about a whole of me.
Anyway, moving on. Yes, so yeah, it's a lot of weight to be carrying, and definitely makes a bit of a difference to tyre wear and lap times. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if you've seen any representative lap times. I'm on the wrong timing server, so I'll try and get some real data.
Yeah, best lap at the moment is Manley in 4th place.
Wow, 108.6. That's probably the fastest lap today, I believe. Oh no, sorry, the best lap is 108.6 from Richards, no? Are you out of date?
Yes, sorry. Richards.
Yeah, so Richards 108.6, I think, is the fastest lap in the races so far today. I'm sure Manley is a bit closer. 1.4 seconds. There's 1.4 seconds from between Manley and Ashton, and then 1.4 seconds between Richards and Manley. So it's shaping up to be an interesting finale. And here they go through Red Gate, down the hill, and Manley's got that gap down to 1 second then. Good exit through Red Gate for him. And Manley will be doing his utmost to hunt down our championship leader. Good exit from that last corner though for Jack Ashton, and he manages to keep that gap at a pretty stable 1.2 seconds.
So everyone's kind of spread out a little bit in this race now.
Yes.
5th and 6th look quite close on track.
Yeah, so there's
Wilson and Goodyear Scott.
Yeah, for sure.
And no, they're the 2 closest, but this is probably the more important battle, we could argue.
Yep, and it's a similar. Oh no, it's 0.9 of a second between these 2 drivers as they come through the final corner and on to start their 18th lap of the Donington National Circuit. So they have 9 laps remaining after the end of this one, I should say. Goodyear gets it down to 0.6 of a second, so a really good exit from Red Gate as they head down the hill. Hard on the brakes. Oh, this is Manley
going back up the hill.
Going up the hill. Yeah, absolutely. And he is about 1.1 seconds away from Ashton.
There's a lot of elevation change on this track, and this corner they're coming through particular. You brake going up the hill and you can't see the apex, so you're kind of trusting where you need to go and going into it blindly. That camera angle doesn't really show it once you're sort of sat down low in the car, and then going down the Craner curves, there's a big drop off there.
Yep, for sure. And hard on the brakes for Goodger Scott. He is closer than ever to the back of the purple Chevrolet. And Wilson, is he going to stay defensive? I think Goodger Scott's going to tease him a little bit. He's not really going for a serious move, but Wilson knows he needs to make an adjustment because of where Goodger Scott put his car. And that compromises Wilson a little bit as he go down the hill, but the gap stays about the same. Heading through the corner curves, very, very high speed, down to 5th gear, through the right-hander, past what used to be the Dunlop Bridge, and up the hill again. And Goodger Scott gaining ever so slightly. It's hard to make a move here because of the way it sort of twists and turns into the right-hander. Slightly overcooked then from Wilson, and Wilson goes a little bit wide, and here comes Goodger Scott up the inside, and a fantastic move completed there after Goodger Scott. Will Wilson be able to come back at him into the S's? So he tucks into the slipstream of the Ford Focus. I think he's a bit too far back to make something happen here. Over the curbs they go.
You see the brakes glowing.
Working hard.
Yeah.
Brakes. Get that car slowed down from 140 miles per hour into that chicane. And it looks as though Wilson is dropping off slightly. And who's this on board with?
I think we've got a bit of a battle here. Jordan and Talbot just swap places side by side.
At the moment there was a bit of a tap, and Talbot manages to keep it pointing in a straight line. It's probably slightly turned in there by Jordan. But,
I think he's trying to bend every panel on his car this race,
and everyone else's panels too. The two Ford Focuses slow down and go through the old hairpin up the hill and into McLean's in a second through the right-hander. And no closer this time then for Jordan. He is, what's the gap between these two guys? Must be 0.3 of a second roughly. Good exit from there for Jordan though. He's as close as he has been, though hopefully won't have a huge amount of contact as they go down towards the S's, and Jordan picks the outside, and he's going to hope for a good exit, and he slightly overcooked it then. Didn't manage to get the cut back, and he's dropped off a couple of tenths or so. And just out of the corner, I see that the gap between Manley and Ashton is now down to about 0.7 of a second, I believe. So Manley,
he's on one, isn't he?
He is reeling in Jack Ashton the best he can. We are on lap 21 of 27, I believe. Yeah, 27.
Yeah, 27.
Yes, it's 27. And so just a few laps left for Manley to make a move. And here comes Jordan again. Jordan on the back bumper of Colin Talbot. He's going to try and find a way around the outside, and that's unlikely to happen there. And Talbot's going to have to hold it tight to the inside so that Anthony can't get a good run on him into McLean's. Into
there's a little bit of contact there.
Yes, more like contact, but nothing that has massively affected anyone. No one's fallen off, which is good. No one's upside down.
Yep, and no one's over the barrier.
No one's over the barrier. And onto the brakes then as they come into the S's.
I think you see Jordan lift it, after the contact was made, he lifted out, and that's why he's dropped back a little bit. But he's tried to recompose himself. But here we go. This is Manley and Ashton. Ashton under a lot of pressure here. Richards doesn't seem to be able to keep up. Yeah.
He's struggling with the weight at this point and maybe a bit of tyre wear. This is important though. I mean, if Manley gets in front of Ashton here, it means that all three of them will have finished 1, 2 or 3 out of that trio. I know Winman's going to win this race, but if Manley comes first out of the 3, then he will have a victory out of the 3 contenders today, if that makes sense. So,
yes, but is there not a bigger gap
so
between first, second and third?
That he finishes in
Jack hits that curb hard.
There's a lot of curb to take, but actually it seems to have got quite a good exit from the S's there. There's Lewis Manley.
So we're going to...
Jack Ashton.
Sorry, we'll look at some lap time. So last lap from Jack Ashton was 2 tenths quicker than Lewis Manley. And then you've got
Oh, here goes Anthony Jordan then. Jordan goes, I guess, a good run, goes to the outside of Redgate, that's where he's aiming for. They go, both the forward focuses go hard on the brakes. Anthony Jordan's got the very wide outside line. How much space will Talbot give him? Just about enough, and the two of them were still side by side as they go down through Craner curves, and there is a point at which you don't want to go too wide because you run out of grip. And is there going to be enough space for the two of them through the old hairpin? And great racing, very well done to Colin Talbot for keeping ahead there. I thought he was a goner halfway through.
He did not want to give that up, did he?
He didn't. He did such a great job to keep around the outside of the Craner curves and then retain the inside.
Yeah,
I
was anticipating slightly different outcome there.
I thought there'd be a bit more knocking doors or banging doors together. We are on lap 24, and here is our second and third place drivers. Ashton just 0.3 of a second ahead, and here is that battle again between Jordan and the Cam Sport driver of Colin Talbot. And,
go on, Colin, getting his toe.
So looks like Jordan has made his way through, but here comes a big dive from Colin Talbot, and here was a bit of door banging again, and there in the background is slowed down. So I think
he was alongside though at the turning point, surely.
Just about, yeah, and just behind is King as well. So this is about to come a twosome, is about to come a threesome. We'll see how much King gets involved in that battle in a minute. This is the battle for second place as it happens, and
so I think Jack's going to start to go defensive here, just so that he doesn't get caught by a lunge into turn one.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's very sensibly driving that slightly higher amount of weight. He's got an extra 18 kilos of success ballast on than Lewis Manley has. I can see on another screen that I know that Anthony Jordan has now caught back up to the back of Colin Talbot's Cam Sport machine.
That was quick.
Yeah, very quick.
Colin's made a bit of a mistake somewhere.
Absolutely, and here goes the two of them again through Redgate, side by side again, and just about enough room left by Talbot. And King is going to get involved in his Chevrolet, and a little bit of contact, and maybe King can capitalise on the slight speed disadvantage that's given Anthony Jordan's car, but not this time round.
I think King's run a little bit deep there, just out of shot.
Yeah.
So he's dropped back a little bit.
The two drivers then head back up the hill towards McLean's.
How much weight does Colin have on his car? Only a small amount, doesn't he?
Yes, he has 18 kilos. Anthony has no weight on his car. And here comes Anthony Jordan up the inside then. Has he got the place sorted, or has he gone a little bit too hot? I think he's made it, possibly, unless we can see a super dive from Talbot.
I think King's more likely to make a place up here.
I think Talbot won't be very happy about losing a place to Jordan though, and I'm sure he'll be doing his utmost to get this place back. But of course, we know Anthony doesn't have any weight whatsoever, so but well done to him for making it a successful move. But and thank you to both of them for providing some excellent and close racing there.
And I mean, they're the positions 7th, 8th and 9th, so
yeah, absolutely, some good racing all the way through the field. We can forget about our race leader Mark Winman for the time being, because this is the battle for second and third place, as this is the end of the penultimate lap, I believe. And where is Mark Winwood? Yes, this is the end of the penultimate lap. They're just about to start their last lap then. So here we go. Final lap. Can Manley get past Ashton?
So last lap round, Winwood did a 10.9. So I think he's backed it right off now and just bringing it home. Ashton's done a 9.6 and a 9.4 for Manley, but the previous lap, Ashton was a little bit quicker than Manley. So
yeah, I think Manley's now being slightly held up by Ashton, and he is running out of time then. So where can Manley make it happen? Can he make it up at McLean's. Unlikely to make a move here. It's all about a good run from McLean's, though.
You want to time it, don't you, into that last chicane, so Ashton can't retaliate.
Yeah, and if Coppice goes well for Manley, maybe he'll get a good run and a good slipstream down this Dunlop straight.
Flashing his lights.
The intimidating lights. Where will Manley go? Will he dive down the inside now? If he's going to do it, he has to do it now. Too much curb maybe for Ashton. Very well driven. Congratulations to Mark Winwood for winning.
Good win.
Second place is likely to go to Jack Ashton, and it does. Third place to Manley. Richards will come home in fourth. There we go, in the distance. There he is. And then we've got Goodger Scott, who will finish in fifth place. Wilson will finish a further 6 seconds behind in sixth. There he is in his purple machine. And then we've got the right way up car of Anthony Jordan on its wheels this time, and finishing seventh after a good battle with our ninth place driver Colin Talbot. King actually took eighth in the end. We missed that overtake, unfortunately. And then we've got 3 DNFs: Grodek, Boyce and Day.
That was quite an exciting race, wasn't it?
It was an exciting race, yeah, I enjoyed that.
I wasn't quite sure where to look. Thank you to our producer, Dean.
Yes, thank you, Dean, for keeping on top of
everything.
The action. And the drivers are making their way back to the pits now. We will have a very quick podium presentation very, very shortly.
So I think the guy's going to be stuck back in the garage. We're going to see who we can get hold of.
So thank you very much for those of you who've been watching on the live stream. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of these guys will be watching the stream back as well. Some very interesting racing, lots of close calls, lots of close decisions to be made by the race stewards as well. After all of our races today, obviously we had 2 for the Clio Cups, 2 for the F2000 series, and we also had 3 for the SRTCC. We do have the race results based on the number of points allocated. And we're going to start with the Clio Cups. So in 3rd place today, with 28 points, if you could give a big round of applause to David Robertson, please. Now, 2nd and 3rd place might be a little bit predictable if you've been following the live stream. In 2nd was John Curry, so give John a round of applause, please. There's lightning reactions there, Mike. And our overall race winner was James Holland. So just going to take a quick photo for a bit of social media. Perfect, and very well done to all of them. Give them another round of applause, please, guys. Make sure I keep tapping this, it's not my own. Okay, so in right, we're into the F2000 category. We have a look at the points. In 3rd place today, probably might surprise him. I don't even know if he's here because he probably gave up on it. Was Alistair Dendy. He's gone, I thought so, yeah. So after he had a really good race 1, but a terrible race 2. In 2nd place was Michael Balding. Give Michael a round of applause, please. Oh, you're Michael Balding. Okay, so we've got a new Michael Balding, whose name is really Nathan Burton. And our very clear double race winner was Chris Hardwick. There we go. We've got a stand in. Very good. Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. And on to the final category today, this SRTCC. Of course, we have 3 action-packed races. The last one in particular was super exciting, although Shamet might disagree with that penalty. So, in 3rd place today with 45 points, give a big round of applause to Lewis Manley, please. In 2nd place today, on his debut in the series, give a big round of applause to Matt Richards. And a double, well, 54 points in total, I should say, with 1 race victory. Give Jack Ashton a round of applause, please. So we'll take a quick photo of these guys. Very well done to them. Thank you very much to those of you here. Thank you very much anyone watching at home. Do take care. Join us for the next live stream on the, I think it's the 10th of June, or it might be the 9th of June, at the Simply Race Endurance Series. And that is the 6 Hours of Istanbul. See you then.